Episode 1, MarVA Sailing Springing into Spring. It's April. If you hadn't noticed, spring has arrived, not with winter out like a lion and spring in like a lamb, but more like a wet, windy blanket billowing on a sun-drenched clothesline. 15 to 20 mile-an-hour winds have had something to say for some 100 days now, politics aside. I don't remember it ever being this windy for so long, do you? Until the white caps quiet themselves, I'm continuing preparations for heaving ho, with a start today on checking the whole truth for faster gliding at the mouth of the Rappahannock River and Chesapeake Bay. Was really hoping to get out early in late March, but was surprised April chose to be so mercurial, really. Water was turned on at the marina a little early, so I wanted to dig out 7 months of dust debris on the bird poop deck. Need to get the green-eyed pollen sludge not only out of my own eyes, but off the decks, stanchions, lines, canvases, and crevices. I bought a set of knee pads, an absolute must. Scrub the deck, bow to stern, head to toe line, along with this new hose, a highly recommended item, this coiling 50-foot Hydrotech Lawn and Garden expandable burst-proof hose from Walmart. Did they forget anything in that title? Maybe water? Into a spick-and-span ship-shaped Bristol fashion beauty. Bristol was a major maritime center from the 18th and 19th centuries, known for its quality shipbuilding and maintenance, leading to ships being kept in excellent condition. Thank you, Wiki. Sanctuary, our sailboat, looked like it had been bleached in white when showered down. The wet wiped galley, wood planked floors, and port lights or plexiglass windows now showroom ready. If I ran my index finger pad all around the tow rail, it would hum like Waterford crystal. Also now, all the electronics, handhelds, cushions, and paper products were now back on board and ready for spring and summer sailing. I had already in winterizing last October done the oil change, filled the diesel tank, added the fuel additive, filled the water tanks and engine properly with that pinky antifreeze, changed all filters, and cleaned out the scum in the bilge and AC filter. During a winter October day where it was quite cold, but I set it all right again in late March in this new year, 2025, by reversing the process by emptying the pink out of the hoses, spigots, and through holes, flushing twice, shower, sinks, engine, 225 water gallon water tanks. So what was left? Check the hull. I was curious. Probably didn't need to spend the money because after all, it was only winter. What thrives in winter? An anonymous poet wrote, "When chill November's churlish blast, a somber scene, a winter's cast, the trees stand bare, with leaves all gone, a silent hush, a world withdrawn." Not so tranquil here in Virginia in 24-25. In the 7 months, we experienced 20 to 4 mile an hour howling winds, along with winter storms. On January 22nd, we saw a high of only 19 degrees with a low of -1. So glad I winterized properly. Wouldn't want a cracked engine due to expanding and contracting ice. At the survey in August, when the survey was pulled and power washed, I added new zincs to the bottom, and I was curious, here at the mouth of the Rappahannock at Broad Creek, what would 7 winter months do to the hull? Stainless steel shaft, zincs, propeller, and keel, when barnacles weren't so lively. How would this channel filter sediment, algae, the miasma of microscopic creatures living in the deep, creating layers of habitats for other sea creatures to thrive in the suburbs of my hull? I brought in a diver, Hunter Morton, from Morton's Diving to inspect and clean. Here's our interview. I couldn't help but be reminded all the while of the novel 2,000 Leagues Under the Sea by Jules Verne, and that deep sea diver with that massive copper rounded helmet and thick gated mask. I'm here with Morton Diving. What are you guys here to do today?
We're here to clean the bottom of this hole, make sure the bottom paint's good and integrity wise, make sure there's no barnacles or slime growing. Also helps with wind or knottage with the boat and just efficiency in general, and hopefully over time will cost him less money to not have the bottom redone.
So obviously that helps with sailing and helps with the integrity of the boat. What is it like it has been in the water, obviously. Here it was not on the hard for 6 months over the winter. We're in April now, so it's sailing season. What do you expect to find down there?
So with it being in the colder months, I hopefully am going to go down and not find much growth. You're probably going to have some growth on your propeller from not moving and just it being metal contact. And hopefully when we go down there after 6 months with the water being cold and the barnacles and the algae not being too active, hopefully he won't have any barnacles on his bottom paint. But we're going to go down, find out with the camera and see what we got.
And during the summer, what do you recommend for boats? How often should they be checking their bottoms for barnacles and the zinc and the propeller, the zinc on the propeller, etc.?
I personally would have it checked once a month, but then again, it all depends on the conditions of the water where you're in, the water temp, and rain flow has a lot to do with it. Like I imagine these guys over on this bank right here, with the water coming in off the shore, it pushes all that bacteria away. So it really just depends on your location. But I recommend at least getting it looked at once a month, just in case you have any damages come up or just any surprising growth pops out of nowhere.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate having you here.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you hiring us.
So, Hunter, you were saying you used to be a commercial diver, and we were talking about electrolysis and the current. What were you talking about, welding?
Well, I used to be a commercial diver, and we used to go down and fix these plates for the Hampton Roads Bridge tunnel lay foundations. And switching from commercial diver to diving, for at least boats, is a pretty easy job. And you're asking about electrolysis?
Yeah, about how, like, when you said you have to be careful of electrical current.
So when you go down, there's these things called shore power cords. They have a lot of electrical current going through them, obviously to charge a boat. And if you get fraser stuff in them, they can touch the water. And there's dangers for divers where electrolysis can come into play. If you hop in the water, there could be an electrical current that you don't see or don't know. And it can just be a real heavy danger. That's why a lot of the times you see people with, they're like testers they stick in the water to find for electricity. Check and be careful about.
Yeah, and what kind of tools are you going to be using? And I know last time you added zinc, at the bottom. So it's going to be interesting to see what that looks like after 5-6 months.
So this is my Ocean Technology Systems dive mask. It's about a $1,000 dive mask. I won't rock anything other than a full face because there's a lot of jellyfish and there's just stuff that can get in your mouth. And I like keeping everything contained. I run a aluminum air tank that holds 3,000 PSI. Gets me through about an hour and a half underwater cleaning boats, just consistently breathing, because it's all about how you breathe. I got Scuba Pro gloves, a Scuba Pro semi-dry wetsuit with boots, socks, and a hood. It's a 5 mil, just helps keep all that heat in. I also have, these are, they're almost like a bristle brush, but a Brillo pad. And I have 3 different gradients for it, so smooth, medium, and hard.
That's
and
cool.
They're just for different types of paint. Don't want to take too much paint off or rub anything off while you're working. And then I just, gotta have fins because I can't move in a wetsuit without pretty much a bob and marshmallow. And then I rock just a generic scraper. This is for hard metals, not paint. And it's just to work around your propeller, get all the barnacles and stuff off so you can move up freely again. And then if I forget this, I can't do anything. This is a weight belt. I have about 25 pounds on it now because the wetsuit's heavier. And in the summer, we downgrade to about a 3 mil wetsuit and probably about 5 to 10 pounds to keep me buoyant. Awesome. And that's 90% about all the gear that I have with me at all times.
Well, that's good. Well, I appreciate again the work. We'll see what the winter has done, and it'll be kind of cool to compare.
100%, man. It's been a pleasure. Switch this around. Excuse me.
How deep are we looking at? About 6 feet?
I mean, normally I don't go below 15, but I don't know what your draft is, but we probably won't be below 10. We won't be far off from the surface.
That look convenient right there, Hunter?
Huh? Sure. Please make sure that doesn't blow away. Flashlight?
Yeah, you can definitely hear him scraping, and look at all that sediment. That's what I was surprised in the bilge, how much sediment was in the bilge, and like, where does all that stuff come? You can just see it. It's amazing. Hey Hunter, thanks a lot, man. That's terrific. Glad to hear everything's going, really, really well. And as you shared, the scraper you didn't have to use a scraper.
Not much. He has some bases that can be popped off with a scraper, but they're better to be left alone. That way you don't damage the paint any. And when the paint crew hauls it out to paint it, they'll do all the fine tuning and sanding of your bases and throw paint all over it. So.
That's pretty, and your propeller, you were saying with the zinc is still intact.
Yeah, you have 2 zincs. You have your propeller, then you have a cone zinc, which mounts onto the front of it. It looks fine. And then you have 2 shaft zincs that go on the log, which they look fantastic.
That's
you're all good on your prop.
That's really great to hear. So if people want to get in touch with Morton Diving, how do they do that?
I have a Facebook. It's called Morton Diving, and I have an email. It's called mortondiving@yahoo.com. So those are 2 ways you can reach out and get into the boat business.
That's great. And if people just want to even talk to you about scuba diving, they can certainly give you a call too.
I mean,
that's
give me a call.
Not many people want to do this, but obviously you love it, and
it's definitely a passion.
Pretty high level. So if people want to learn about scuba diving, you're the guy.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, thanks a lot.
Anytime, man. It was a pleasure.
Electricity's alacrity underwater, electrolysis and use of zincs. Now that sanctuary is prepped, less salty and brackish, the only step is to, like birds of a feather, gather with our little boating yacht community. Hey, listen, it's $100 a year, and partake in the ceremony of the blessing of the fleet. An annual ceremony you might find interesting, especially as boating communities all around the world follow similar rituals, readings, and a tradition of throwing off your woolen winter socks into a burning fire, to be only replaced at the first sunshine of spring by bare feet, topsiders or docksiders, and promises of fair winds and following seas.
Here we go. To sailing.
Till our next episode, The Blessing of the Fleet, Salk and all. Yeah, that's a bit kitschy. And please don't forget to subscribe here on our MarVA Sailing YouTube channel. or visit our website, marvasailing.com. And if you wish, subscribe, donate to this ever so humble stowaway dreamer, your captain, T-Mac, and crew. Yes, and this is our inaugural episode. I want to thank my father, John McDonald, and Ken Moore, my father-in-law, may they rest in peace, for their constant inspiration and support throughout my life for these kinds of journeys in life and in literature. Captain T-Mac saying over and out, get those grandchildren and young kids involved early into sailing. Till the next time when we meet again, be sure to sail into the future.